was to do, and we did. That was the very first one. What happened is, it falls into the industry of the awnings.
Yeah.
And then as long as we were moving along, right, then people would start asking us to do different type of awnings. But that was our first product. That was.
Wow.
And the first job we did was in Punta Cana. Someone had an outside shower, and there was too much breeze, so he wanted something to block the breeze, and that was the first job.
Wow.
I was actually home in the U.S. visiting my parents, and he called and said, "We've got our first job. We've got our first job."
So how did you? Okay, so you went from concept to inception. How did you get your first customer?
Well, go ahead, Kelly. You say it.
We hung a sign at the veterinarian.
Oh my goodness.
That was the
We
way.
hung a sign at the veterinarian.
Talk about bootstrapping. Like, it's bootstrapping at its finest
Well,
here.
that, and we used to take the sign, and we used to go sit on the side of the street and put the sign up and just wait.
Be quiet.
But the first customer came from the veterinarian office.
You would sit on the side of the street?
We would open the trunk of the car, we'd put the sign up, and we'd sit and talk
Yeah, we
to
had two
each other.
places. We used to see it right after you pass Punta Italia on Barcelona Avenue. Like there was an empty lot. We would sit in there with a sign, and we created this cell shade sample. It was an instructor, and we were showing the product and also showing the sign at the same time. The honest truth is that we never got a sale from that. However, we did it for a couple months.
We did it, yeah.
But like Kelly said, we hung a sign at the vet, and we received our first phone call for a job. It was because of that, and we are very appreciative and very thankful for that.
Wow.
Right. And then I think then someone else saw it, and then we were at a beach bar. We were at Juanillo Beach, and they had something, and we said, we can do that. So then our job started. We did something at Juanillo Beach.
Correct.
Wow.
Our first customers, yeah.
And then it just
And then
one
somehow,
becomes
yeah.
2 and 3 and 4, and they see, oh, that's really nice. Who did it? Do you feel that
Exactly.
you get more customers via word of mouth than advertising?
Well, I will say that probably about 90% of our jobs, they've been recommendations.
Yeah.
That's I can assure you that. And because right now, like we're in the process of since we are growing, to utilize the social media and stuff
Yes.
like that. 10 years ago, that wasn't the case.
Right.
So, but yeah, I will say about 90% has been recommendations, that job that we done, and then we've been recommended.
So when did you go from sales, like shade sales, to curtains?
I will say probably about two years into the business. Yeah. So something else that happened is that we were not aware of we have some distributors outside of the country, but we also have some in the country.
Okay.
However, at a time, we had no idea that companies were selling the products. What I mean, the raw material, for us to build here in the country. So it took us about 2 years to learn that. So after we learned who was selling here the materials, the pieces, the parts, that's when we started like doing something different, So it took us about 2 years. That means that the first 2 years we were importing everything either from USA or from Korea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, the shade sales are such a specialized product, I guess, that it made sense to expand into the permas and the curtains and the awnings to help have more jobs keep everything going.
Right. But how did you have to learn that side of it too? How to make them, how to create them, how to
You mean the sales?
the sales, but also the curtains.
Yeah, for sure. We had to do. They're very similar in a sense because one works horizontally and the other one works vertically. So that's kind of the same concept. That's what it changed, is just the way that they drop.
And they roll.
Correct. You have a manual one. You have motorized ones with remote control.
Okay.
So you have all the options. But yeah, we had to go. There was a learning curve, and even getting to know the exact material for the exact product.
Right.
So because they don't use the same product, but it was a learning curve like normal. Nothing really drastically, or
Right.
Uh-huh.
So then, speaking of learning curve, one day Cesar comes home and he says, "There's this conference in Panama I want to go to." So I said, "Okay." I'm thinking vacation. He's thinking business. So we go to this conference, and I'm just amazed by the people that are there. They're building these gigantic tensile structures
for architects and
for
engineers.
architects and engineers. And here we are sitting here with our shade sails that we've been making, and we're happy. So we go there, we meet some people, we start talking to people. And how much longer before you get a phone call for a hotel?
It was
for
two
Royalton
years
here?
later. 2 years after we met all these architects. So we received a phone call from a big construction company in the area,
Uh-huh.
in the country, by the
Uh-huh.
way. Very knowledgeable of the hotel buildings and stuff like that. And they proposed me to build a tent. It was about 2,000 square meters tent.
Wow.
Honestly, the largest in the Caribbean. Not only the largest in the Dominican Republic.
2,000. That's
2,000
big. It's
square
huge.
meters.
2,000 square
Gigantic.
meters.
Correct.
Gigantic.
Correct. And so it was proposed to me to offer, but honestly, we were not in the capacity to handle that type of project.
Right.
So, however, but 2 years prior to that, we had been to Panama and we made some relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And my partner today, which is a company from Guatemala
Uh-huh.
called Cool Membrane Architectural Membranes, we called them and we said, you know what, there's a project here. Are you interested in doing this with us? And we got the project. We
Nice.
bid for the project. We won the project, and it took us about 45 days to build these tents. We have personnel from the Dominican. We have personnel from Guatemala, close to 15 employees working on the whole project. And it was the largest. It's been the largest in the whole area in the Caribbean
Wow.
ever built.
And where is it? It's at the Royalton.
Yeah, it's a Royalton Bavaro. Pardon me. It's a Royalton Punta Cana, which is
Wow.
the newest of all the Royaltons. Yes.
Right.
Incredible.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So since then, we've done more hotel projects here in the area, and we've done them out of the country. So Antigua, Grenada, Jamaica. Where else?
That.
And then aside from that, we have other partnerships in Puerto Rico. So we've been to Puerto Rico a few times with several jobs, including doing one at the governor's mansion
Wow.
and some hotels. So it's nice that not only are we doing things here locally in Punta Cana, but also in the Caribbean.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. I love the story. I love the story. Like, it reminds me of, because, it reminds me of how Bill and Melinda, not Bill and Melinda Gates,
Let's
Jeff
hope.
Bezos. No, Jeff and what's her name? Anyways, his ex-wife now, but like they started Amazon in their living room with books, and they would box the books and ship them out themselves. Like when you said that, like that's what it reminded me of. Like that's it's one of those things. I mean,
Right.
so yeah, that's
So it's been great, and the company's been growing. And for 10 years, Cesar and his team have been going out to meet with clients face to face. And finally, we said, let's open a showroom so that the clients can come, the decorators can come, the real estate agents can come. Everybody
Yeah.
can come see in one location what we have to offer.
I think it's a great idea because, you can't really get that from a flip book catalog. And I saw pictures of it. I have to come and have a visit. But it's nice to have a place where you can display, the different materials, the different styles, the different things like that, so that people can come and actually see instead of.
Yeah, they get a feel of what does it look like when the sun's out. We've got lighting behind
Uh-huh.
products so you can see what it's like when the sun's out.
Uh-huh.
We can hit the remote control for a curtain and you can see what it's like when it opens, when it closes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So you guys just opened the showroom in the new downtown area called
Central
Park.
Correct.
And
So if you've been to the sports fields and
Yeah.
Caribbean Water Lake, Central Park is right before Caribbean.
Batu.
Yes,
Right.
yes. So it's right down there in downtown Barbaro, where, in like, I mean, everybody knows what is it called? Downtown
Well,
soccer,
as a matter of fact,
downtown
the
soccer.
whole complex is called Central Park. We are in a corporate office business.
Okay.
That's where we're located. Mm-hmm. But behind us, there's about one phase already done, about 200 apartment buildings, and phase 2 is coming up now. So literally I would say by mid next year or the end of next year, you're probably gonna have about 500 to 600 already apartments built.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
growing, yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
that area's growing.
Well, which is
growing,
another reason
growing.
why it felt so appealing to us also to have
Sure.
a showroom there,
Absolutely.
and also celebrating 10 years, 10 years in the market already. So inauguration will come soon. We will let you know.
Can't wait.
We're planning the date, but it's open, so people can come over and take a look at everything we have there, and we can explain. More than happy and welcome to everybody to explain.
instead of the trunk of the car.
Exactly.
Right?
Correct.
No, I'm just kidding.
Correct.
I love that
That's
story
what-
too.
well, yeah.
So when you think about what most people need or what the area is lacking the most in this department, what do you find that most people are looking for?
We're talking about the sun control business. That's what we
Yep.
do. Actually, that's what we do. We control
Sun control.
Correct. That's
what
what
are
we do.
people? What do most people look for, or what is it that you get the most
Well,
asked for?
the interior part, which is the roller blinds and the railing blinds and stuff like that, that's always going to be the product that we will sell the most. However, the exterior dropping awning and the roller shade exterior ones is our number one seller.
Okay.
Is number one seller. Two reasons. The benefit that offers is huge. So sun protection. So all your furniture, all your painting, all your windows framing, everything is being protected by
Right.
this roller shade. So it's not only that you're getting the sun away from your balcony and from it. It's everything you get from this. And then the other thing is privacy. So it gives you some privacy, and people love it. People love it. It's a great product.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I guess it depends whether you're talking about something for inside the house or the outside.
Correct.
What is the biggest inside seller?
Probably the blackout
Yeah.
and the zebra
Okay.
shades
Yeah.
because the sun's so bright. and
Right.
people want to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is bright. And depending on which side of the house is, the sunrise or the sunset, but here the sun, I don't know how to say it. The only word that's coming to my head is pica. How do you say
It
that in
is.
English? I don't know.
Hot, super
It's
hot.
it's hot, and
Yeah.
it just gets you.
And when you have these shades, you can feel a change in the temperature
Yes.
instantly.
It does drop your
Instantly.
temperature. It does.
And that is true. I mean, you did the one for the school, the original school. All the beautiful colors and everything, and then you even moved it for me to when we moved
to the-
schools, and it really does have great shade, and it covers a lot, and you do feel a big difference. There is a huge difference.
Well, you know that's a shade cell, by the way, we're talking about.
Yes. Yes.
Usually you will get like about 90% sun coverage there. It's a great product. And actually, in countries like the U.S. or Australia, actually, it's very famous in Australia
Yeah.
because the sun is really close to the earth there. And then there's a lot of melanoma type
Yes.
of problems there. So it's mandatory to have shade cells in any public area, including schools, playgrounds.
Interesting.
So people try not to get sun for more than 15 minutes a day because it causes a lot of problems there. So it's a product that is really, really well known for that, and it's very recommended. Yeah.
So, do you find I never really noticed, but back in the U.S., maybe more so down south, but I never really noticed a lot of shade sails in the United States being used, but they're beautiful.
It's kind of new, I guess, like in the last 10, 15 years.
Well, but I think
more south. No, I was saying more south. So if you're in Florida, or if you're in Arizona,
California,
or if you're in Southern California.
Because you see umbrellas, like the big umbrellas and stuff like that, that hang over the tables and things. But
you know what? Every time I go home now, if you go to a winery, they've got them.
Yeah.
Now, whether they're custom made or Amazon, I don't know. But every time I go home now and I go to see these wineries or meet people or you see festivals, you see these shade sails. They like the looks, and it gives shade.
Yeah. I mean, really and truly, yes, it gives shade. We want the shade, but they really are a beautiful accent to your home because they look really nice. They really do. I like them. I prefer them.
Great. So, but by the way, we purchased this software that allows to create and build them, right? And you can do, 3 corners, you can do 4 corners, you can do 5 corners, you can do 6 corners. So it's the only awning that will work in an irregular area. It's the only one. So it doesn't have to be a perfect area to work.
So the software literally tells you what to cut, how to cut, what shape to cut.
That's right. So what I will do is pretty much, well, by the way, what I actually feed the software with, any information that I give to the software, it will create that shape. However, there's some limitations, and if any of the measurements or any of the parameters that we're using are not within the acceptable range, the software will let me know, don't do it. It doesn't work. Because remember, when you when we do these cells, there's an algorithms that they work, and you need to make sure the forces, air, rain, all these type of things are considered into the design. So the software will let us know, listen, doesn't work, and then we have to make it work some way, changing any measurements or changing the design or the shape of the cell.
Wow. I mean, that in and of itself is incredible because it probably saves you.
For sure.
From having to, okay, here we are, we built it, and then you're like, oh, it doesn't work.
That is correct. That is correct.
That's a great point because you can tell the quality based on what we're sewing to the blueprints versus someone who may not have the software and it doesn't fit the same, and you can tell.
Right. Or somebody that just says, oh, I'm not going to, I don't want to spend the money on it. I'm just going to order it off of Amazon or whatever it might be. And the quality's not there. They realize that it doesn't fit the way that it needs to fit.
That is correct.
And so,
So what will you find with a product like you find in any of the retail stores or online stores is similar fabric. However, the specs are not the same. So what will happen that the one you find in a store like Amazon, it will be, I will say, close to 4 ounces per square yard. What we use is close to 11. So it's 3 times the thickness. And
it is thick.
And the force. And so it is totally custom made. So fabric, software, manufacturing, installation, everything is just custom made for the customer.
And it's made right here.
And it's made
That's
right
right.
here. And
what better thing to support than a business that is Dominican? It's here. It's manufactured here. You're giving people jobs here. It's not from China. It's not shipped in, and it's literally custom made.
Right. And we since starting with cutting on the floor, we've now added several machines to improve the quality, to add to the product line. So we now have something that we call a vertical zebra, which it looks like a curtain, a ripple wave curtain, but it's actually individual panels. So you can have the translucent, letting the sun go through, or you can turn it and have the privacy. So that's a new product that we brought, that we have the machine. No one else in the country has the machine right now.
Wow.
So we're manufacturing that. If you want it, you
So-
got to come see Sombra Tech.
And you have a sample of that in the store.
We have a sample of
Or
that.
in the
That's
showroom.
our masterpiece in the store.
Nice.
So, and then we just received this week another new piece of machinery, which
Yeah.
I will let Cesar talk about because he knows the specs and what this machine can do.
Yeah, so we're very excited. This machine probably about one or two in the country, no more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Ours probably being the second one, but it's called a welding impulse machine.
Mm-hmm.
So with this machine, what we can accomplish is any material that does have any content of plastic, either polyester, HDPE, vinyl, PVC, we'll bond the material together. So we can get seams now, basically almost seamless. We can do pockets. We can do tons of things. And the very important thing is what's coming soon is, I mentioned to you before that our number one product seller was the roller shade, the outdoor roller shade. Now we're going to be able to do what's called the zipper track roller shade. It's a roller shade that can withhold up to 80 kilometers an hour winds. So it is something very cool for the area.
Wow.
It is something, it's almost like, you know where the shutters are, the aluminum shutters are?
Yep.
Okay, this is very similar, but it's with fabric. So this is something totally new in the country, new in the area. With this machine, we can make this. And that's our purpose of having the machine. So we're going to be offering this product pretty soon. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be something very, very nice. Yes.
Wow. 80-mile-an-hour winds.
Yes.
That's, I mean, and for here that's important because we may not get direct hurricanes, thank God, all the time.
Right.
But, we do get,
High winds.
the winds and from the tropical storms and stuff like that. And for it to be, I mean, that's a pretty big wind.
Even just what they call the Christmas breezes.
Right.
It can become very breezy. And if you're close to the ocean
Mm-hmm.
and you're having dinner or you're having a party, it's nice to have some wind protection as well.
Of course. Of course. So that's a big game changer right there.
Yes.
Do you have like the mock-up samples of what that will be like?
Yes, we do.
Wow.
We do. We already have one in our showroom, so
Uh-huh.
people can come and see it.
Wonderful.
It is a very nice finish. The product is really, really nicely done. And we're very excited with this product. We are putting a lot of effort, and we know that it's a product that is very needed in the area.
Uh-huh.
And we can't wait to start selling them here. you know.
What do you feel is I mean, yes, social media is out there, but social media is only as good as, the people who know you. You could have the best product in the world, but if people don't know that you're there, they don't know that you have the product. So what do you find is, other than word of mouth, your best way of attracting new business, cold calling, finding, I mean, there's so much construction and so much building going on here.
I don't know if I can do a solicitation or not, but we
Of
are
course you
looking,
can.
We are looking for that salesperson that can help us
Uh-huh.
beat the streets. To this point, we've been so busy just word of mouth
Yep.
that that's how we've been operating.
Uh-huh.
But we do want to hire that salesperson, someone that can really go out and tell everybody about these new products and get to these different construction sites and start talking to all the realtors.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what
So-
we feel is that we are ready to handle more volumes.
Okay.
So with these machines that we have actually incorporated into our operations,
Uh-huh.
we have a table that is special for cutting a fabric for curtains.
Mm-hmm.
So we can manufacture a roller blind in a matter of close to 2 minutes, if we
What?
like to. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So we could literally do that. However, I'm hoping that not everybody's going to go to the store thinking that I'm going to do that because we have an agenda.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But yes, so that's the good part about everything. And the other machine that we were just talking about also do the same thing. So we get quicker, We get
Yes.
neater. We get everything looks better, and it's very important.
So here's my question. It is the machines work well, right? And we all know, at least for me anyways, that right now it's the people that are difficult. Now, other than the salesperson that so if you're a good salesperson out there, take note. We'll give you information at the end. But you have to install these, and you're one person. Do you find it difficult to find the right people that to be there to help you to do the jobs?
Well,
because making it is only part of.
I agree with you, and honestly, it is a situation that a lot of entrepreneur people are going through right now. That's happening worldwide, not only here.
No, yeah.
However, we believe in training. We believe in consistency.
Yep.
So we have an employee with 10 years that has been 10 years with us.
Yep.
The youngest employee is working for us is been 2 years with us in the company. So we believe in keeping the people, training the people. We believe in our employees learning and doing things better. However, one thing is what I think as a manager, as an owner. The other thing is what my employees want to learn, want to offer.
The motivation.
Correct. So that being said, we have a team for about 6 people right now.
Okay.
We have people that manufacture the curtains. We have people that install the curtains. And we have a sales division, and we have a customer service division. But we're a total of 6 employees plus Kelly and I. That would be 8.
Right.
But answering your question is, it's difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult to find the right person to learn and to be on board with what we're doing.
Right.
But we make sure that happens. That we care on our employees. We care about what they do, and also kind of empower them to learn and do something on their own. But it's a learning curve that
they're just not an employee. They're an investment. You're investing in people.
Correct. So when we get a machine to be used by an employee. So we just need to make sure that employee is actually understanding that the way we have
This is
to
how you use it.
Correct. And very important. Pretty much all the tools that we get. They're tools that make our jobs easier,
right,
and make us to do a job better.
Yeah.
So that's something else that we make sure that our employees,
right,
understand.
Yes,
the machines aren't there to replace the employees; they're there to make the employee's job easier and the end product a higher quality.
Right,
because it does have the precision that you can't get by hand.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's very important to say that in Punta Cana, we're the only company that manufactures here on site. Nobody else does it. People come from Santo Domingo and they do installations here. So we're the only ones that actually have 400 square meters of a warehouse. We have these machines that we've spoken before about.
Yeah.
We have the employees, and we manufacture here.
Wow.
So as I mentioned to you, we probably have a 10 days delivery time right now, but it could be done in 3 days.
Right.
Something that nobody from Santo Domingo could do.
Right.
And if we talk about post-sales service,
Mm-hmm.
then we're here.
Right. Right. You don't have to wait for somebody to come to get here.
I have a job in front, next week.
Yep.
I can stop by. No. We handle that different way. And I got to be honest with you, although we do projects in the whole island, we try to stay in Punta Cana for small projects.
Right.
In order to fulfill this warranty service that we offer.
Right.
So we don't like to go to Santo Domingo not being able to offer or to do the warranty that we offer.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
very important for us.
Of course. And that, I think, even today is something that is lost in everything. Okay, yeah, I got your money, I got your, you already bought from me, bye-bye. Yeah, you got a problem. Oh, well, but it's that customer service that really and truly puts that word of mouth even over the edge because they'll be like, yeah, it's not just that, but when they're done installing, you know, if you have a problem, if you have a this, you know, they come back and they take care of you. And I think that is key.
Yeah, we think so too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that Cesar's done a great job of managing the business, I'll say, to American standards with contact with clients, and maybe that's not the right wording, but more than just somebody who's very casual on the street that tells you they're coming Tuesday and shows up on Friday.
Right. Yeah.
So we've been very careful to communicate, and if we do have a delay, let clients know, because there are things that happen, but
yeah, it's just that respect of time.
Correct.
He has done a great job in implementing respect to the clients.
Yeah.
I guess is a good way to put it.
Yeah. And that in and of itself makes people want to stay, makes people want to repeat, makes people keep on wanting to come back to you. So we're gonna run out of time, because this has been really, really interesting from the English perspective side, and I didn't think that we were gonna be able to talk about this for that long. And I'm just like, wow, this is great. So I want to, just for the even though this is an English show, but I do want you to be able to explain those really key and important details of the company, of what you do, that it's Dominican made, that it's Punta Cana made, for those Spanish speakers out there that are listening or that will listen, to the replay, so that this way they have the opportunity, and you have the opportunity also to reach that audience as well. So estamos aquí con Kelly y César de Sombra Tech. Entonces, mi español en esto no va a ser muy bien. Pero, César, por favor, explica en español un poco del producto y del servicio y del negocio que ahora tiene el showroom. No sé cómo se dice esto en español también, pero en Central Park, donde la gente puede ir a ver sombras, pienso, y explica en detalles exactamente qué hacen y las cosas nuevas que van a ofrecer.
Claro, mira, Sombrate, que es una empresa que se formó hace 10 años por mi esposa, Kelly, y yo. Decidimos mudarnos aquí desde Estados Unidos y nosotros decidimos invertir en un negocio. Ese negocio fue el negocio de sombras. O sea, nosotros encontramos que cuando nos mudamos aquí, el sol era muy fuerte. Y entonces todo surgió ahí. Ya tenemos 10 años, 10º aniversario, estamos inaugurando un showroom nuevo en el área de Central Park, cerca de Downtown, where Cocobongo está, allá. Entonces, estamos muy emocionados porque nuestra cartera de productos ha crecido bastante. Iniciamos con las velarias, que son los shade cells, y hemos transicionado hacia cortinas de diferentes tipos, de rieles. Aquí le llamamos cortinas hoteleras, cortinas ondas perfectas. Ahora tenemos una cortina nueva que estamos importando directamente desde Corea, material para fabricar localmente.
Okay.
O sea, es muy importante que se sepa que la empresa es una empresa de Punta Cana. Es una empresa que fabrica aquí en Punta Cana, es una empresa que tiene empleados de Punta Cana y es una empresa que trabaja para el público de Punta Cana. Podemos salir, hemos salido a La Romana, Casa de Campo, hemos salido a Santo Domingo, pero nos concentramos en esta área porque somos de aquí. Y tenemos también productos como toldos retráctiles, tipo palilleras, toldos de brazos retráctiles, todo ese tipo de productos que tengan que ver con la industria de la protección solar.
Sí.
Eso es lo que nos interesa a nosotros, que todo el mundo tenga esa protección. Entonces, sí estamos muy emocionados de que la gente pueda ir a nuestro nuevo showroom, poder visualizar todo el producto que tenemos allí. Tenemos allí tenemos muchos modelos de productos, diferentes colores de telas, de lonas, que las personas pueden allí básicamente armar todo su toldo allí, toda su cortina. Y estamos muy emocionados que tengamos en Punta Cana finalmente un showroom. Y vuelvo y te repito, muy importante, fabricamos aquí en Punta Cana.
Sí.
Nosotros fabricamos aquí y damos el servicio de garantía y servicio de postventa desde Punta Cana. Toda área de Punta Cana, desde Ubero Alto hasta Cap Cana, Bávaro, Corales, todo el área lo cubrimos, todo el área.
Y explica el nuevo producto que va a producir, que me dijiste antes sobre que...
Vientos.
Sí, de los vientos.
Claro, mira, ese es el producto que más se vende. Aquí le llamamos localmente perma, la cortina perma.
Okay.
¿Qué pasa? La cortina perma tiene varias versiones. Y ahora nosotros estamos ya casi muy pronto ofreciendo un producto dentro de esa familia que se llamaría la perma zipper. Zipper porque es como un zipper de un pantalón.
Ajá.
Eso es lo que hace que el sistema sea robusto y que pueda aguantar hasta 80 kilómetros por hora de vientos. O sea, es una perma totalmente guiada, donde lleva un zipper dentro del guía y aguanta vientos muy altos. Entonces, estamos muy emocionados porque el producto se ha importado y se ha instalado en el país de importación, pero nunca se ha fabricado aquí. Y se va a fabricar por primera vez en Punta Cana, en República Dominicana. Y estamos muy, muy emocionados con ese producto que sé que lo han pedido hace mucho tiempo y ya finalmente lo vamos a tener pronto.
Excelente, excelente. Entonces, también Kelly estaba explicando a nosotros que en cuanto mucho del negocio y los clientes vienen del, ¿cómo se dice? Boca a boca. Entonces, pero también en este momento están buscando a alguien de venta, una persona de venta. Entonces, explica las características que está buscando de esta persona que puede venir a buscar a ustedes, porque sabemos que hay mucha gente que dicen que pueden vender, pero de verdad no tienen la capacidad o no saben cuánto necesita para hacer este tipo de trabajo.
Sí, mira, precisamente ahora con el showroom que iniciamos, queremos ya formalizar más todo el tema de las ventas, organizarlas. Lo hemos trabajado boca a boca, como decías. Hemos utilizado los medios, incluso vamos a empezar a utilizar los medios de una forma más profesional también ahora, que debería ir de la mano con un representante de ventas que estamos buscando. ¿Okay? Es una empresa ya constituida, 10 años, reconocida en el área. Hemos trabajado para negocios pequeños, restaurantes, bares, para negocios grandes, hoteles, residencias tanto en el área de Punta Cana, de Bávaro, todo ese lugar. Sí hemos estado siempre muy inclinados al tema residencial más que de negocio, pero llegó el momento de que Sombratec se pueda dirigir ya a esos negocios tipo hoteles, esos negocios tipo bares, restaurantes, que lo hemos hecho de una forma limitada, pero la persona que trabajaría como representante de ventas, pues nos ayudaría bastante y estamos buscando a alguien que se pueda encargar de toda esa área para seguir el crecimiento de la empresa. Entonces, vuelvo y repito, estamos buscando una persona con características de ventas que entienda que las ventas se ríen por motivación, se ríen por incentivos, para que pueda aportar. Si la persona puede lograr esas cuotas o esas metas de ventas, definitivamente le va muy bien, pero también a la empresa le va muy bien.
Sí, claro.
Entonces, estamos buscando a alguien que entienda eso, que lo pueda entender de esa forma, porque oportunidades tenemos muchísimas.
Sí.
Hemos estado 10 años haciéndolo sin eso, imagínate. Llegó el momento de que podamos hacer eso.
Sí. Excelente. Entonces, como explicamos o como dijimos, que puede encontrar a Sombratec en las redes sociales de Sombratec, Sombratec.
Yeah.
¿Correcto?
Muy bien.
Y también ahora están en Central Park, que no en Nueva York, pero en Central Park, en Downtown, enfrente o al lado de Downtown Soccer Academy. Entonces puede ir a ver su showroom ahí, porque ya abrió y puede ver los productos en físico que ofrecen.
Claro, sí, sí.
Yes. So, thank you so much. And again, I just want to say thank you to Kelly and Cesar for being here with us this evening. And thank you for tolerating my Spanish. And but also, please, if you're interested and you're looking for shades, curtains, anything like that to protect you from the sun, go and visit their new showroom in downtown at Central Park, downtown Punta Cana, across from Downtown Soccer Academy. And this is Christy Maggio. We will be back next week for What's Up Punta Cana with Christy Maggio. Bye-bye. Every Friday at 7 p.m., Punta Cana Hits presents What's Up Punta Cana with Christy Maggio, the #1 and only English talk show in the area, with the best that the Dominican Republic and the rest of the world have to offer.
Hey, ya estamos de feria en Ferretería La Imagen. Todo el mundo está de fiesta, se rifarán 10 Navi. No dejes que te lo cuenten, tendremos muchas sorpresas. Tú puedes ser el ganador que en Ferretería La Imagen presta. Tiempo de celebrar, mega feria se desborda. 10 Navi se rifarán, no hay duda que uno de esos te toca. Coloreando con pinturas tropical pa' que no falle. La mega feria está en Ferretería La Imagen.
En Ferretería La Imagen te damos la oportunidad de ganarte 10 Honda Navi. Participar es muy sencillo. Por la compra de 1,000 pesos recibes un boleto y de nuestras marcas patrocinadoras el doble de boletos. Uno de estos Navi podría ser tuyo. Solo aquí en Ferretería La Imagen, tu imagen en ferretería.
¿Buscas lo mejor en productos agrícolas,